The one thing that I can guarantee you about going to the emergency room is it's going to hurt, financially that is. You know, in choosing to visit the emergency room, the potential to make an expensive mistake is very real. Hi, my name is Art Getz with the Health Benefits Network, where we give you the scoop on new ideas and innovations in health and healthcare to make your life better. And today, I'm going to give you 4 truths that you need to remember before you go to the emergency room. ER truth number 1, the ER can save your life, but it can also cost you an arm and a leg. The emergency room is always going to be your most expensive choice that you can make in seeking healthcare. It's called an emergency room for a reason. It's always in a constant state of readiness for any type of care that might come in through the door. The ER is usually attached to a hospital, and it's got a bunch of expensive diagnostic tools like labs, CT scanners, X-ray machines, MRIs, ultrasounds, all with technicians on standby waiting for you to come in. They've got doctors and nurses 24/7. You might think that you were just paying for that emergency room visit, but actually you're paying for access to all of those tools and diagnostics and equipment and people. That's why emergency rooms are so expensive, and they should only be used for the most serious medical conditions. Things like being in fear of losing a life, a limb, loss of blood or breath, or consciousness. You get the idea. You know, if you're truly experiencing a life-threatening medical episode, that you will be treated in any emergency room anywhere, regardless of your ability to pay. That is the law. But you can also expect to receive a whopper of a bill detailing a long list of emergency room procedures, services, and medical care that they provided to you during your visit. ER truth number 2. Never use higher tier healthcare for a lower tier problem. We've got a running joke over here at Scoop Health. What's the difference between an emergency room visit and an urgent care center? I like to say it's about $2,500. We get that emergency care is going to be expensive. And when it's a legitimate emergency, nobody cares about the cost. You get the care that you need right then and there to get you better. But if it isn't a clinical emergency, then an urgent care center is always going to be the best place for you to start. For a much smaller price, you get a clinical assessment of what's going on. If you go to an urgent care center, they're going to let you know right away whether it's something that they can handle or not. They're going to perform a triage, and if necessary, they're going to send you straight to the ER, but with confidence and a preliminary diagnosis in hand. And in most cases, urgent care centers can provide whatever you need for quite a bit less money. Some of the things that can be treated in an urgent care center might include a sprained knee from your kid's soccer game, things like lacerations, wound care, burns, sinus infections, the flu, strep throat, and so much more. If you're still in doubt about your situation, most urgent care websites are going to list all of the things that they can treat. So just check there first. Some will have more advanced diagnostics like X-ray, limited lab tests that they can perform, all for a much lesser price than you'd find in an emergency room. Especially significant when you consider the next truth number 3. Health insurance companies hate ER visits. Not only does most commercial insurance have a higher ER copay than the normal copay, that is just going to be the bare minimum that you're going to have to pay for that ER visit. But buyer beware. If your health insurance company decides that it wasn't an actual emergency that you had, they're going to deny that coverage for the ER visit. And then they will only pay after you've paid your full deductible first. And probably even then pay a much smaller percentage of the costs. They're allowed to deny that ER visit, stating that you could have obtained the care you needed at a lower cost somewhere else within the next 24 hours. Many people received this shock a little too late to make a different decision. To you, it seemed like an important emergency room visit, but to the health insurance company, it's just a question of how much of the bill they can stick you with instead of paying it with the insurance. ER truth number 4. If you like spinning wheels, you're going to love the emergency room. So bring a book, because when you go to the emergency room, before they initiate any care at all, they're going to stabilize and triage your situation. ER staff are trained to elevate the severity of cases. If they're busy, your care will be prioritized based on the severity of your condition. In other words, if you're not serious and there are other actual emergencies coming in, you're going to end up waiting often a really long time. And that can be super frustrating when you're feeling bad, hurting, or everyone seems to be cutting in line ahead of you. But if you wanted treatment sooner, it would be considerably faster in an urgent care center versus an emergency room. It's no secret, the healthcare universe can be very intimidating and confusing for most of us when we're seeking higher level care. When you've got an unexpected health situation going on, it can be super stressful. Understanding the 4 basic truths that I've just shared with you today will help you get the right treatment at the right price in a reasonable amount of time. To make sure that you get to enjoy more videos like these, please subscribe to our channel, click on the notification bell, and we'll be bringing you more healthcare benefit news and health-related stories. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with your family and your friends. Thank you.